That is a lot of boxes. And if you watched yesterday's video, you know what's in those boxes. Big changes coming to the Lego City right away. And I'm actually starting a Lego City update right now. So I'm actually going to be working on the Lego City for the next 2 days. And I'm going to vlog everything that we get done in this video. So I'm pretty excited because the Lego City is going to look pretty awesome when we're done this video, I think. I hope. The first project that we got to take care of today is these 2 plates. So there's 2 48 by 48 plates that sit there. You can see one's empty and the other one is actually the Mills plated 1950s diner, which has the 4 parking stalls. So I'm actually going to be expanding the parking lot. I know I've always said that parking lots are sort of boring, but I hope to do this one in a really neat way so it can accommodate parked vehicles, food trucks, bike racks, scooter charging stations, and just sort of service this beach area wonderfully. Now, the issue is I don't think I have enough gray brick to do it. So what I've done is I've pulled out some unsorted bags. I've pulled out some old mocks that have gray brick inside of them. I pulled this outhouse right here, which is going to be changing color. It's currently gray, so I'm going to make it in nougat. And I'm going to try and extract as many gray bricks as possible from anywhere in this Lego room that, can afford to be taken. And we're going to try and build the parking lot that's going to service the beach and the 1950s diner. So that's my first project. Wish me luck because I'm going to try and find all the gray brick in this room so we can make this really cool parking lot scene in front of the beach. Actually, I'm going to be unboxing all of that stuff and producing the video for that, editing it, making the thumbnail, taking care of all that stuff while Simon tries to build this parking lot. But it's just going to be essentially replicating this and then creating a roadway. And him and I are going to work together over the next couple days on the Lego City. So there's actually 2 of us working on the Lego City for the next couple days. I always like to be prepared. So I was down here this morning and I was rummaging through my massive graveyard under here and my graveyard over here above my computer. And then I was rummaging through all of these unsorted parts, trying to find the gray brick just so that when Simon gets here, oh look, there's a panel. So when Simon gets here, we're 100% prepared for that project. Yeah, I always like having all my ducks in a row and just making sure that everything's organized and ready to go. And we have some clear-cut tasks so we can get so much stuff done in a short period of time. You know what? Things went super smooth this morning. The kids woke up. There was no screaming involved. Fed them breakfast. Jose's bringing them for a walk right now with the dogs, hoping that they fall asleep. And I'm hoping to get this stuff all unboxed before Simon gets here so that we can start developing a plan for all of these awesome sets and where they're going to go in the city. Woo! It's going to be awesome. So here we go, everybody. Parking lot has been assembled. So we actually used a combination of bricks and plates to create the stalls, of course, and then actually just use some road plates through the center here. This is exactly how my roads are built. So you got the road plates, which are on one plate to raise them up so they're the same height as the brick laying on the side. And then we use these strips here, one on either side to extend it. So it's actually the same width as the road. And I think that looks pretty good. It's a big parking lot that can fit 8 vehicles, which is pretty nice. So I've got to place that, and then I've got to tailor the pull-in for that so that it lines up with the entrance. But yeah, it's pretty neat how this is the same width as the roads, so it just makes sense. Vehicles can drive in and park, and drive in and park, and it looks pretty good. I've never really built a massive parking lot like this before. It's something that we have the luxury of doing because we've got a massive Lego City. So realistically, am I willing to allocate this amount of space to a parking lot when the city is this big? Probably. I think I'm okay with it for now. And you know what? Been calculating a plan for over there. I'll discuss that with you once I'm done integrating this properly. So there we go, placed in the Lego City. Got some awesome cars there, like the Aston Martin, the Shelby Cobra, a couple hot rods, vintage taxi, Lamborghini Countach. I rounded this sidewalk off here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that sidewalk over there, if it's just going to be grass or if I'm going to extend it a little bit more so there's a bigger sort of intersect there. And I've got to tile it all off, but I'm out of 2x2 tiles. That's why I've been using 2x4 tiles. But when I make some changes over there to that section of Lego City, it's probably going to free up a bunch of 2x2 tiles. So I might wait to tile off the rest until those changes are done. Now, I was thinking about placing the bike rack and the scooter charging station and like some food trucks, the ice cream truck, and this bus station and this newsstand. But every time I went to place this stuff, there like wasn't enough room to make it look proper. It sort of crowded the area. Didn't look that good. I am thinking of putting the bike rack here and the scooter charging station here and tiling this off until the or to the edge of the skate park. That might look pretty cool, but it takes away some of the sand. But primarily the beach is over here. So before I continue with this here, let's talk a little bit about the farm integration, because as you can see, the farm is back in the Lego City. So for the last little while, I've been really struggling with trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this area and the raised platform. But I actually came up with a solution today. I am going to keep the farm here. I think it looks good. And we are going to integrate it with a creek and a forest and also a farmer's market. And we're also going to be redoing the raised platform. The Ninjago stuff is actually going to be sliding down, and we're going to make space for a mountain, which is going to go right here. So I am sticking with my original plan that I proposed the other day. That mountain is going to be right here, pressed up against the raised platform. So we're going to remove the tunnel that's behind that rock edge there, remove this road, turn that road there, and then have this mountain that leads to the top of the platform, where we're going to have the tallest peak in the city with the new Mountain View Observatory. I don't have this set built yet, but I can already tell that it's really big. So placing it on top of this hill where I originally thought I was going to put it just isn't going to work. I think it's going to be a nice focal point right over there on top of the raised platform, on top of the largest peak in the city. Well, between unboxing, editing, taking care of these two little devils, the first day of my Lego City changes is already half over. It's already like what? 20 to 3. Holy cow, Mel, time flies when you're building Lego. Jeepers creepers. Now it's time to reorganize this raised platform. The facades, they just look out of place. Like, facades are good for Lego cities, but in my opinion, these don't really blend well with the other sections of the Lego City. So I am going to move the facades into the graveyard underneath the Lego City. Sorry about that, Venom. Your skyscraper is leaving. Another thing up here that's still in question is the Venetian houses. I really don't think the Venetian houses belong up top here with the Ninjago buildings, because the Ninjago buildings are staying up here, but they just don't blend together very well at all. So I am going to reintegrate this back into the Lego City. I'm still not 100% sold on this, but I think the Venetian houses are going to go here for now, which actually makes sense because the creek that's going to run through here is actually going to flow underneath this bridge and then line up with the canal going around the Venetian houses. However, there is a big hole that I'm standing in right now, and this is a big white surface, but I do have 1.5 base plates here that we could do something with, maybe like a corner building and another building, and then continue this sidewalk here all the way along so that it connects to these other sidewalks. I don't know where else to put this right now, so I'm just going to leave it here for now. It's not necessarily permanent at this time, and I think it needs a lot of work to better integrate it into this area. They sort of look out of place there, but whatever. I'm happy with it for now. To really add to the confusion of it all, I'm going to place the Spring Lantern Festival beside the Venetian houses. Ooh, it fits in the spot just perfectly. Look, the sidewalks pretty much line up other than this here. And it's a corner building. Oh, it's 1.5 base plates, but it doesn't match at all, but it is what it is. You know what? It's actually sort of like tucked in the corner there, and I don't think it looks that bad. It's sort of growing on me. It's pretty decent. Well, there you go. Let's continue working on the platform. While I'm making a mess in the Lego City, Simon's over here working on the creek plates. So this creek plate here is 16 studs wide and 3 base plates long. There's quite a bit of real estate up there for Ninjago and that mountain, so I centered Ninjago, and then I put the Mountain View Observatory right there, just in its box for now. But yeah, I think that would look spectacular if that thing was on a mountain. Not too high, maybe like up to about here. Nothing too crazy because this thing has a big base. It's 32 by 32 studs. So I can't bring it up to the roof, right? Because the mountain would be too steep. Also, we have the mountain base down here because I've got to get rid of this tunnel and probably this cement panel here, that covering, and then get rid of this road. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm having trouble visualizing what else I'm going to do on the raised platform here. I've got to take care of this mountain and the observatory. Obviously, I just got this set, so I really want to build it and properly integrate it into the city. And I think that's just sort of how I have to treat this raised platform, just like a little bit at a time, and then sort of develop a plan as we continue to develop the raised platform. And so the Lego City destruction begins. Just fixing up the road. So I'm building my curve right here, which is very colorful underneath the tiles that I'm able to extract from the other roads we just removed. We're about to place the creek plates that are going to go right here, and that's going to help us visualize how the layout of this area is going to work. I moved the two platform coverings, that being the tunnel and just the standard one there, fixed the road up so we've got a curve, and cleared this whole area for the beginning of the mountain, which is going to creep up here, act as a train support, make its way to the top of the raised platform, and then continue to go up as we can create a surface for that. The first thing I have to do when creating this mountain is part out all of these rock panels here, because these are going to have a bunch of parts that I need, and I'm not going to be able to use these. Like, I have to start from scratch, guaranteed, because I want it to be more of a shaped mountain like the Ninjago one. I don't want it to be straight upright like that. It's got to have a little bit more character. So here is the massive creek plate. So once again, it's 3 base plates long, half a base plate wide. Our creek, the way we built it is we laid down black 8 wide plate, and then we added some detail to the edge of it, and then just mills plated it using green plate and random colored 2x2 bricks. And of course, you've seen this technique before in the campground here. We've got a very similar creek running through the campground, so this sort of matches that style. May as well keep the styles consistent in the Lego City. So I'm pretty sure it's going to sit like that there. I still have to work out what we're going to do with the pumpkin patch. It might just get removed for now. I was thinking we could build a bridge going over to the pumpkin patch, but if this is going to be a mountain now, it doesn't line up with the road. So what we could do is slide the farm forward, sort of like that there, so that it lines up with the curved road plate, but I don't know. I might just get rid of it because now we're taking away space from over here, and this is where I want the farmer's market to be, and I'd rather there be a larger gap from the farm to downtown so it separates it a little bit better. So I think the pumpkin patch is so easy to remove. It's just a gravel road and a few pumpkins. Maybe this farm has to be reworked a little bit, but either way, I wanted the water to run through here just because I think it adds a little bit of motion and life, especially once we get the trees built and integrated into this area as well. So I built a 64 by 32 plate right here, and I think this is what the mountain is going to be constructed on. I ran out of green 4x plate again. Oh, that's devastating because we're about to take on a landscaping project. We need green plate. Might have to rob it from the amusement park again because it's got a lot of it, but it needs it as well. So not sure what we're going to do there, but this is the base for the mountain. I'm pretty sure that's how big the base of the mountain will be. Maybe I've got to extend it to a 3rd base plate, get rid of that little waterfall there, and have this all mountainous behind the farm. That might look pretty cool, but it is going to start like right here and sort of be a half circle like that and support this train track. So it'll be like sort of bulge out here. There'll be the ridge that supports the train track, and then it'll go up to the top of the platform from there. I've got to decide whether or not I want to make it one more base plate wide. I might do it just like small, like that. Not really small. It's 64 studs. It's not small at all, but if it's like that and then it can sort of go up from there, I don't know if I have the capacity of making it even larger than that. So it might have to just be that big for now. But I've got to get more green plates. Unfortunately, I need some for right there. And I probably need some for over here and right there. Gonna have to come up with a solution to that problem here. So we're just feeding the Grumsters here. Or just Grumster. As soon as I started filming him, he stopped crying. But he just reminded me of something, Stella. He just reminded me that there's a certain bin downstairs in the Lego room where we might have some more green plate. Because when we redid the parts, anything that was overflowing with parts, we put into the overstock. Yes! 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 Problem solved! I just had to think about it. Well, no, actually, Benjamin just had to remind me that we do, in fact, have a bag of green plate. And yes, I know, as per usual, it's a mess down here. That box that you saw, though, when we grabbed that green plate, has the armory in it that was sent to me by Joe. Thank you, Joe. We got to get these suits of armor made ASAP and integrate them into an even larger armory. That's so cool. And then we've got to build all this stuff as well. I'm building this ASAP live. Might even be today when this video comes out. And I'm building all this stuff ASAP as well and integrating that into the Lego City. It's going to be hype. But my day is coming to a close. It's 10 minutes to 5. These guys are eating their cookies. They just had their dinner, and it's almost bath time. And then, once you guys go to sleep, it's hang out with the wife time. 9 to 5, that's all Dad can work, right? Yeah. But that's what we got done on day 1, everybody. It's time to hang out with the family. Oh, you just threw your cookie? You don't want it? You don't want the cookie? Goodness, Benjamin. Are you eating your hand or your cookie, buddy? Are you eating a little bit of both? She drops her cookie, then she's upset that she dropped it. All right, got a half base plate constructed for right there. Fill that gap pretty nicely. Sweet. Now I've got to grab this plate here and start constructing the mountain because I actually parted out those cliff edges. Check it out. Got some dark gray panels, plate, cheese slopes, 1x1 bricks, bamboo, colorful bricks, dark gray bricks, all sorts of rock panels, and a mountain of slopes that will all be used to create the new and improved mountain for the observatory. I got this cat lurking around down here today. Luna, what are you doing down here? Hey. Hey. I know you love boxes. You want some pets? Come up there and get them. No? Okay. Come up there and get them. Get the pets. Come on. You got to work for them. Come on. You got to work for those. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. I put the plate back in the city so I could measure out my base layer. So you can see it does that nice curve there, and it's going to line up with the platform covering there. I also decided to go through and remove the green plate that was underneath these because you're not going to be able to see that, and switch it up with some random colors just to conserve the green plate. But you can see the base rock panels are staggered, so it's 2 forward, 2 forward, 2 backward, 2 backward, and then it curves around the corner there. And I left 3 spacing gaps there as well. Pretty happy with the base construction so far. I think it has a pretty nice shape to it. And I filled in these gaps here with 2x6 bricks, and those are going to do a great job supporting the mountain structure as well. And I really want to stagger it quite a bit just to give the mountain more character because I'll have more space to add slopes and other details. There's the second layer of rock panels. You can see it's inset a few studs there. So we're going to be able to add some nice detail when that time comes. And here's the back support structure. We've got some of these 1x6 yellow bricks, sort of in like a honeycomb structure style, and then also some of these train supports with some of the 1x16 Technic bricks running from rock panel to rock panel and on top of those train supports. That's what it looks like when it's placed in the Lego City. Now I just need to make sure that I leave space for this curve to sit on the cliff edge within the mountain. So I've got to get the height right in this area here so that can sit there. There's the train track sitting on the ridge. There's not much clearance here. Like, it has to go vertical to cover that platform there. So I'll probably have to do that with 2x and 1x bricks so we can blend it in using slopes. Because of course, we've still got to add mass amounts of slopes so it looks like an actual mountain, not a rock panel wall, right? And then I've got to build this up here. There's going to have to be some sort of change happening in this corner in the zoo. And I've got a pretty good idea for the connection of the cement wall to the mountain as well. So yeah, just going to build our next layer here, which looks like it's about, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 bricks there to cover up the raised platform. So there's the base construction of the base of the mountain. Now we've just got to throw a mountain of slopes at it. But yeah, you can see it's got the rock panels and some bricks, just a nice combination of those. So there's some yellow exposed there, but that's just the structure behind it. So you can see I used a bunch of these train supports, some Technic bricks, a bunch of yellow brick, 2x brick, etc., just to make sure this thing is rock solid, which it is. Can pretty much pick it up one-handed, pretty much for the most part, and it's on 2 base plates. So yeah, it's pretty strong, pretty awesome. And while I was building that, check it out, Simon was building 18 trees, 9 tall ones and 9 short ones to help detail the area. So I just cleaned up the Lego room, parted out a bunch of the platform coverings, parted out a bunch of roads, did a bunch of part sorting and organizing, and cliff edges all parted out and everything. And then all of the slopes are being laid on this. Look at it. Way better, hey? Doesn't that look good? Some bamboo on there, some light gray cheese slopes, and then all sorts of slopes. We're running low though. Like, we have a lot, but we're running low of the important ones, such as the 1x2x3 tall, like these guys, and the 1x2x4 tall, and those guys there. Also, the inverted slopes we're running low on. So we are running low, which is unfortunate. We're going to finish the top here, but then the upper portion of the mountain is going to require slopes as well. So we might have to order some more slopes. Another Bricklink order on the way. It seems as though no matter how many parts you have, you always run out of parts. But I do have quite the graveyard working on tidying this up here. I was just mentioning to myself that maybe I need to take a few days off uploading and just sort of clean everything up in this Lego room. But I prefer building. Building is much better. But yeah, it always just seems like, oh, we're running low on tile, or we're running low on green plate, or slopes, or whatever it is. No matter how many we order, we always seem to run low on parts that we need. But it is what it is. This is looking fantastic. So another thing that has to happen over here is I have to reconnect this gravel road that leads up to the farm to the actual road, because this makes no sense. And also, I think I'm going to remove all of these sidewalks and replace them with green plate, similar to how it was when the farm was over by the campground. I just think it makes more sense. It's going to look better when there's trees and grass on this side of the farm, and it's going to do a great job of separating it from the downtown core, right, and all the modular buildings. So I brought all the road plates over to my desk here, and guess what? It's Sunday. I'm doing the members live stream today, and I'm building the Lego Star Wars The Justifier, which of course is Cad Bane's ship. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. Almost done changing the farm road plates over there. Just did the last one. This is in the surrounding area. Needed to be done. Check it out, everybody. Woo! Doesn't that look amazing? Count the slopes. Thousands of them. Maybe not thousands, but lots of pieces went into this thing. It is a mammoth of a build. Like, it is crazy. Look at that. All filled in on the top here. This is just a nice steep slope going up. This is going to give us more space for the mountain on top. And the supports in the back. Very colorful, but hey, this thing is rock solid and looks amazing. I love rock work. I think it looks great. The slopes really take it to the next level. Let's place this thing. Let's see how it looks in the Lego City. There we go. Doesn't that look awesome? And then I even showcase this, the fact that this cement wall continues onto the mountain. It's like built into the mountain. And then these 2 arches here line up for the train support. And the train, of course, is going to sit on that there. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to redo this rock work here just to blend that in so this is all part of the same mountain. So I'm going to have to move this tree, probably take out this wall here, and then rebuild that a little bit. Fairly straightforward. Wow, that looks awesome. Why don't we put the train track back, slide the farm into position, put that other plate back in spot there, and take a look. Look at that, everybody. Wow, it looks awesome. It still needs some work. We're not done yet. I need to realign some things. obviously build the top of the mountain. Once we get the top of the mountain done, it's going to look great with that observatory on top there. And it's going to be taller than the Ninjago Mountain. It'll be the tallest peak here in the Lego City. The creek lines up like that there. It's going to line up with this waterfall. Probably going to rebuild that waterfall, maybe make it a bit larger. And it's going to connect with the water on top of the raised platform. Now, I know the Mountain View Observatory actually has water underneath it, but it doesn't make sense to have the water coming from the top of the mountain. I was actually joking around and said, maybe that water is the toilet or the plumbing from the observatory. But no, the water is going to come from here, and who knows what other style of landscaping we're going to do once we get that Mountain View Observatory mountain built and put that set on top of it. It's going to look sweet. I've got to build one more 16 by 32 creek plate there, but as you can see, we integrated the creek into the base of the mountain there as well. Maybe we should place those trees as well. Thank goodness the trees have flex tubing running through the center, because they would be broken into a million pieces if they didn't. All right, I'm running late for my live stream. It literally starts in 1 minute. But look at the trees. They definitely add a lot to this area. We've got to add some more stuff like bushes and trees and bamboo stalks and leaves and stuff like that all throughout. Also, I've got to move the pumpkin patch. Originally, I thought there's going to be a bridge going over to the pumpkin patch, but now I realize the pumpkin patch can just be accessed from right here. Not a huge fan of the cement on that curve there, so I'm going to make a gravel road leading to the pumpkin patch, which will be right over there, which is just perfect. Then we've got to add a bunch of landscaping to this area still, but wow, I'm actually really happy with it so far. That mountain is incredible. Just finished the first half of the ship, so that's bags 1 through 3. We've got Hunter, Cad Bane, and Omega. And this is what the ship looks like so far. It's half a ship. I don't know when I'm going to finish building that, to tell you the truth. I've got a city to build, right? But first thing I've got to do is bathe my kids. I've got kids to bathe, so I'm going to go take care of that now. Tico, are you comfy down there? You hanging out down there, or are you coming upstairs with me? You guys get started without me, Benjamin? You excited for bath time, buddy? I'm excited for bath time because you stink, bucko. Oh, you're tired too. Oh, nice one, buddy. Nice. You did that for the camera or what? You think you're funny? I think you're pretty funny, buddy. You gonna have a good night tonight? It's a good angle. So this area is looking pretty great now. We've still got a lot of work to do here, and I've still got some more work that I've got to do over here as well. Remember the beginning of this video when we made this massive parking lot and I said, oh no, I'm out of tiles. Well, guess what? Now I have tiles because we replaced those tiles with green plate. So now I have tiles and I can fix the tile job here. It is getting relatively late and I've still got some editing to do, but I for sure want to tile this off. And I think I'm going to increase the sidewalk. Like I'm going to bring it back maybe to like the edge of the gas pump there. It just makes more sense. I don't think it needs to go all the way around. And I like how this is grass here. And I also need to fix this as well. Blend that in a little bit better with the road there. This guy is doing his wicked jump still. He's been in the air for weeks, I tell you. And then I think I want to tile that off over there by the bike rack. Just working over here doing the tiles. And this is where my table gap is. I still need to get under here with the drill and fix this misalignment. You can see I've got the worst wedge ever in there just to try and fix the alignment. But this thing is teetering a little bit. And that's why you'll see a gap in some spots. So here you go, Bartman. I tiled off the entrance to the beach and the skate park. It matches the colors of the skate park. It's sort of gray, if you ask me. But when I place minifigures on all of those jumpers there, it'll add some nice color to that area. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Nicely tiled off. That's nicely tiled off as well. Running low on 2x2 already, so I don't have enough to switch all of this to 2x2, but I've got, I think, 600 on the way. So when those arrive from the Lego group, I'll be able to swap all that up. So that's good. Then I'll have those 2x4s for the raised train track. That's why I ordered them for the raised train line. But there's still some other tiles on the way for the raised train line as well. So I can finish all my curves off so they all look like this here. So that's pretty good. Still got to like reattach the train over there. But I've also got to build the like the bigger peak for the Mountain View Observatory, which is a Bricklink designer program set. We've got 2 other Bricklink designer program sets. Don't mind the Captain America shield on my table there by Bricker Builds. Life-size Captain America shield is built. That's good. Yeah, so I've got 2 other Bricklink designer program sets right here. And some people have been concerned about where I'm going to place these, and so was I, but I've actually figured it out. So the construction site. The construction site, luckily, it's pretty much just a modular building. It's a 32 by 32 base plate. So when I mills plate it, I'll be able to move it around pretty much anywhere in the Lego city, right? It'll be like any modular building. I'll be able to put it back there where that pizza truck is, maybe, or I'll make another half base plate over here where the Lego store is and fit it in there because there's a half base plate open there. There's also 2 half base plates by the up house there. So I've got some space there, and also on the end of the street right there. I don't know if I want it by the farm, probably really bad placement for it, but I should be able to find a nice home for the mills plated construction site. The train station, it's on a 48 by 48 plate and has 2 lines, like 2 train track lines. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to integrate because there's not really anywhere in the Lego city where there's 2 lines side by side, other than the 2 lines back here behind the Disney castle. But there's also the raised train track going between those 2 lines. So there's not really a way to integrate it back here. Plus there's not going to be space because we have the Disney castle, the Disney train station, and the loop coaster as well. So where am I going to place that? It can't go anywhere in the city because there's nowhere with 2 lines side by side. Well, I actually have a pretty good idea. It's going to go in the amusement park, and this is what's going to jumpstart my amusement park building process. What we're going to do is actually do a switch track right about there, and it's going to go this way and then switch back, and this train station is going to go right in the center there. It's going to be hovering over both train tracks, right? So like right in the center, and that's where I'm going to be able to park the Hogwarts Express when it is not operational, or the Disney train when it's not operational. So it's actually going to be an attraction at the amusement park. The big train station is going to be where people can board either train. Now I know that means the amusement park has 3 train stations. One of them might have to go away, maybe my custom platform 9 3/4, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it has to go somewhere else. Another thing I want to do with trains is get the X crossing. So then what I can do is put one of the X crosses back here. So technically this train station that's in the middle of the amusement park can be serviced by the City Line, the Hogwarts Express, and also the Disney Line. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And when I get around to building it, of course, we'll integrate it. Now, what is the order of things here? That's a big question for me. I'm not really too sure. I think the construction site might be first because it's going to be easy to mills plate and then once again place it wherever. We can move around very easily. Whereas the Mountain View Observatory requires me to build a mountain and I'm running out of slopes. So that might be second, and then I think the train station will be third. But I don't really know. The order of that could change. People have been asking me about the mansion as well. These Bricklink designer program sets and the Lego City are going to take priority over the mansion, especially when I consider the fact that I'm still waiting for parts to arrive for the mansion. But that's really about it for today. We did lots. We made an awesome parking lot for the 1950s diner, tiled off this area, cleared and started developing a plan for the raised platform, and also built a mountain which is integrated into the raised platform and supports this train line here. Put the farm back and also built these creek plates and then did a bunch of sorting and cleaning and reorganizing as well. I think that's what we did in this vlog, but hey, things are coming along great and I love the look of this. It is fantastic and I can't wait to continue working on the Lego City probably tomorrow. So thank you so much for coming on by. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell!